Kayla Bailey, a Jacksonville mother of 5 reported missing on Monday, has been found safe. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office made the announcement this morning in Maxville. Bailey was found lying in the woods on the ground. So we want to talk now with our crime and safety expert, Mark Bachman. He served in local and federal law enforcement for 35 years. Mark, we really appreciate your joining us today. When I first called you today, right away on the phone, you said you're surprised. Why is that?
Just the way it started out, the investigation, how it was reported, things that were happening in her life right around this time frame. There were some domestic issues tied to what she was going through, and also just the uncertain nature of how it was all unfolding.
Sometimes these cases don't turn out this well, right? And so this press conference was at about 12:45 today, and you were listening to the reporters ask questions, and you were telling me that one question from one reporter really stood out to you.
Yeah, that question was, I think the question was posed to law enforcement, was she Baker acted, and they said she's receiving the medical attention she needs. So there may be something, a mental health issue there. Who knows at this point? We won't know until they interview her, probably.
That's right. So let's find out a little bit more. Her husband says he pinged her phone to a gas station near their house. So we want to talk about how they searched for her. You were telling me they use a certain process. It's called MEPSAR. That's Missing Endangered Persons Search and Rescue. So how do they decide, first of all, how big the grid is to start searching?
So MEPSAR is like a protocol, and it's set up with multiple agencies that assist, and it becomes a force multiplier. They have a command center, and from that command center they start with the initial spot of the last place that they were certain or verifiable where she was, and then they expand that area of search going forward. And it's done in like yards, feet, whatever. If it's 600 yards out, 80% chance of maybe finding her in that area. The percentage lessens as you go further out in the scope of search. Could go out to a half a mile. In this case, they started buffering that out and looking. They use canines, missing canines or track dogs. They use drones. Maybe you go horseback. They're out on foot. They use a myriad of different protocols and different ways of searching. Again, they have a force multiplier with all these agencies participating with them.
And we were talking about all the surveillance cameras. It seems like everybody has a camera now, gas stations, people's houses, but those tend to be blurry. You say not well enough to be seen. Facial recognition you can't really get from those cameras. So how do they get around that?
Yeah, most of those commercialized cameras don't have that facial recognition feature in them yet. Technology is advancing, and eventually I think they will, but they get around it and they look. What helps is at least if they captured her on that CCTV video and they see what she's wearing and maybe what direction she's heading and when she's leaving, that aids in the process of the search.
Well, Mark, we do appreciate your expertise, and you were saying that in this case she's alive so they can talk to her and continue on their investigation.
Absolutely.